You are now tuned into Club Therapy with Emily Chan.
So guys, this episode is brought to you by Parlay. We'll talk more about that later. Welcome back to Club Therapy. I missed you guys and I hope you missed me. Today we have my friend Wallace here with me in the new studio. AM/PM studio didn't really work out. The camera died. I was telling you earlier, the camera died. What else happened? It was kind of loud. The AC, it sounded like someone was like stuck in the AC vent the whole time. It sounded like it kept like, there's like banging and stuff like that. I was like, I don't think we can film here.
I mean, AM/PM can't be the solution for everything.
It can't be the solution for everything, you know? I was like, you know what? And that's okay. It's time to find a studio.
And it's a great one.
Yeah, we're here at Grid Studios actually today, you guys. Where are we right now? We're in like...
Junction.
We're in the Junction, Stockyards area. Yeah. So we're trying this out for season 2. We're loving it so far. It's a gorgeous space.
Season 2, by the way.
Season 2, episode 2. Aw, 2 and 2.
Oh, 2 twos.
2 twos. That has to be good luck or something.
100%.
100%. And
I'm gonna get it tattooed.
You're gonna get that tattooed?
Just
we'll
like
get matching tattoos.
2 twos. Just
2 twos. Exactly. So, Mr. Wallace, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of like what you do now and maybe what led you to where you are now? You know, you don't have to give me like the whole thing, but you know, like a Spark Noted version, you know? Spark
Notes version, man. It's like going back to school.
Yeah, because it's funny, because I actually asked Wallace about this a couple weeks ago, and then he sent me like the longest and like most impressive email ever with everything he's ever done, and I was like, okay, cool. You've done everything.
I mean, I try my best. Okay, let's see, where to start? My name's Wallace. Wallace. Okay, let's do that. I'm born and raised in Mississauga.
Love it.
So I'm Toronto, Canada. My family's from Hong Kong. But I'm first gen Canadian.
My dad is too.
Yeah, I went to Hong Kong actually recently for the first time as an adult.
I saw
and
that
was
trip.
Really cool. That was incredible. What do I do? I do a little bit of everything.
You do everything.
But like if you were to put like the title of it is right now I'm a content creator.
Right.
I'm a content creator would be what I like to call myself, but specifically in the niches and fields of food, health and fitness, lifestyle, entrepreneurship, motivation. And my name's Wallace, but people know me also as Six-Pack Chef. So Six-Pack Chef is I like to say the branded version of myself.
That's like your online persona.
Yeah, it's like the online version of myself. Yeah. It's my company, it's my brand. It was basically the branded version of Wallace. And it's based on 3 pillars of eat good, look good, live great. So
I like that. Yeah.
So eat good is all things food, hospitality, look good is health and fitness, and then live great is entrepreneurship, motivation, and just living life. And so
I like that.
As myself as a content creator now, and what I get to do is I get to make videos and content and meet people, and it's all based on the basis of after a whole life of working with people or working for people, whether it's in restaurants or like starting companies or brands or products. My thing was, how do I make a living? And that's really what it was. And
like, how do I enjoy what I'm doing and like actually like make money from this?
Yeah,
doing this thing I love.
It's more of how do I, if there's anything I love in my life, how do I make money doing it?
Exactly.
And that's where
babe.
Content creation allowed me to have that opportunity. So with that, it's like, yes, I am a professional trained chef, Michelin trained, worked in restaurants my entire life, but it's like, I shoot sports. Like, yeah, I'm very grateful that I get to shoot the Raptors 9 to 5. I shoot nightlife, music. Ironically, I went back to bottle serving this summer.
And I'm going to talk about this summer?
Yeah, I'm right now.
You're doing it right now?
At Cabana.
Oh my God, I thought you said you did that in the past.
I did it in 2019, exactly. And I came back.
Again.
I came back for the summer.
We gotta talk about that.
I came back for the summer. I do pop-ups around the world. I get to like collab with different people from around the world to make videos.
That's so interesting.
So in a nutshell, what am I or who am I? I'm just a kid who had a second chance in life and wants to live it to its fullest and wants to leave this place when I get to leave better than when I came.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you kind of, I love that. And I love that you found content creation, because I think to be honest, nowadays, content creators, now I think, especially like this year specifically, I think content creators get a lot of hate, you know. They didn't used to. I think everyone wanted to be a content creator, and then now everyone's, I feel like, trying to become a content creator, myself included. But I feel like,
no, but you are one. You already are one. You're not trying.
Okay, I am one. Sure, I am one. But I'd like to grow, of course. But I feel like we're like so oversaturated with content right now. Like I feel like every other person I see on my Instagram feed or stories is like trying to do content creation, and I feel because of that, content creators sometimes get a bad rep. Like people think they're disingenuous, and like people like have this kind of idea of what a content creator is. But I think honestly, at the core root of it, it's like so necessary in this day and age, you know. And I think it's so cool that you're able to do that. Like I think it's like literally like the dream. Like I feel like a lot of people who are hating too are just jealous, because like I think they would want to, if they were able to, like they would want to do that, because it seems to, you know, an outsider like the dream job. Like that's what it seems like to me. I'm like, oh my God, like I would absolutely love to like full-time like create content, you know, and just like travel and get to film and like meet people and have all these like paid and sponsored experiences. Like that's sick, you know. And I know that's not why you're doing it exactly, but it's cool that you get to do all that, you know.
I mean, I'm always grateful for it. Like I'll be on a shoot or like I'll get to like technically, for instance, this to me is like work for me, right?
Hey, let's
but
go.
It's not work at the same time.
It's
And
just two friends talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel about every time I do something, and always people ask like, "Yo, Wallace, how do you do so much of this? This is this? Or don't you get tired?" I'm like, I do. Obviously, I'm tired. I'm not a robot, but I'm like, I genuinely love those moments that I'm getting to do those things.
Yes.
And it's like to be like, I get to call this work. Sometimes it might not mean that you're paid for something, right?
Right.
But you're like
right now.
Yeah, but hey, you never know.
Hey,
but it's like, that's your job, right?
Yeah.
And like it'll eventually get there, and that's really fun. And then going to your point of like content creators getting a lot of hate, I kind of ironically I think about it. It's like we use the word content creators now, but it's like the word before that was influencers, right? And I've always had this cool kind of new outlook on the two terms, because I always thought about, I was like, what's the difference between a content creator and an influencer? They're not really synonyms, but I think influencers, their job or what they get to do, the main difference actually is I think content creators educate.
Right. Oh, that's a really good distinction, because to be honest, for a really long time I kind of thought the two were entwined. Like I thought
exactly.
It was kind of like people would use it interchangeably, you know what I mean? And it meant the same thing.
But I
that's
realized more and more as, I guess, people start coming into social media, that difference became different, because now it wasn't just about a photo of you or like where you were. Now it's like, you know, for instance, this podcast, right?
Yes.
It's educating people about something.
Yeah.
So it's a content creating because you're creating content. But influencers, I think for that at that like section or time of era is more. They're
just like they're doing this. They're doing this.
I mean, yeah, but even if they're doing dancing, say you're doing a dancing, if you're a dance content creator, the ones that do like, these are the steps to do it with all the little emojis and to be like, this is how you kind of dance. They're educating in a way. And I think there's not that one's better or worse than the other. It's just that I think
that's a difference.
The difference, in my opinion, of what a content creator and an influencer is.
Oh, yeah. I really like that. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
But I think you can really feel like that's such a good point. And I feel like you can feel it with content creators too, because a lot of people who are making content nowadays are who are content creators, you can tell that they're really passionate and really knowledgeable about what they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I feel like people love that.
They're very niche.
Know? Yeah, they're very niche. And I feel like I always hear like that's how you do the best, like in the content world, you know. It's like finding a niche and sticking to it and just like being consistent with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I feel like you can really feel it when someone's passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a great feeling too when you like love what you do. I had a moment with Cam actually right before I started filming season 2, and I was like having a breakdown, and he was like, you know, you don't have to do a podcast. He's like, you literally, if you want to, like no one's putting a gun to your head and making you a podcast.
Voice. I can hear
him saying that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's actually so true. But the thing is, like, I really wanted to do a podcast, but I think all the extra stuff, like like coordinating with like my editor, and then trying to coordinate with my podcast engineer and find a time, and, you know, reaching out to all these different people. And there's a lot of parts about doing the podcast I don't like, but the part I do like is like getting to sit down and talk and like have these kind of conversations, and even just like get to know someone a little bit better and feel like even closer to people like I already really like and respect, you know? So that's my favorite part about it. And he's like, why don't you try it out at 8 p.m.? And then if you don't like it, you can always just go to a studio, and then you can just do the part that you like. You just show up at the studio and they set up everything for you. We had Nathan, he was the podcast engineer today. He just set everything up for us. You know, we can see ourselves, like we can.
Great, by the way.
Everything, yeah, it's all set up, it's clean, it's nice. And like we just come in and just start talking and then leave. And then, you know, that's it. And that's the part I like, you know, that's the part I like, I actually like really love, you know? So he was like, just do that and just do the part that you really love for now. And then maybe the other stuff will come in the future, you know? I really got to learn how to edit though, low key.
I mean,
yeah, editing's tough for me.
Editing's tough, but I think even just listening to that, I'm like that, I think we call that like, or I've noticed, and I've always seen that with like entrepreneurs or other people, it's like, that's just the growth. That's just the growth of it. It's just in the beginning. Like people always say, like for me as like the founder and the CEO of Six Pack Chef, I always tell people, I'm like, I'm the CEO, and they're like, yeah, right. I'm like, yeah, I'm the chief everything officer.
You're like, I do everything.
I've like up until like this year, I've a one-man team. So like,
oh, you have people working for you now?
I just have a producer that I just hired who was originally my editor for a couple videos that I started this year.
That's awesome.
And like building that up, because for me, just going to that, what you just said was like, I can edit everything, but I'm not as good as somebody else, nor am I faster or better, and I can put my efforts into other things.
It's the time, babe.
It's the time. But when you're starting anything as the beginning, you got to do it all. And I think the best part about that is though, as long as you do it all and you know what it is, then then you can at least talk to the person who knows how to do it.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to edit everything perfectly, but you have to at least know, like, hey, this doesn't look right here. Or cut this to here and this, and put this, or like speed ramp this, X, Y, Z. And then now you actually are able to be on the same wavelength as them, and then you can just exponentially just be better at it.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, you are. Like, look, you got to come in, you're all dolled up, all good, and you're just like, I can sit down.
Exactly.
My guest is here. Press record and you're good.
And then I'm good.
Exactly.
But in the future, you know, that's a good point though. In the future, I think you're right. I think it does kind of come with like experience, because even like while I do this stuff, I'm still learning how to, you know, like kind of how to edit and everything, you know, like I have to like go back and forth with like the editor here and everything, you know, it takes like a bit of time, but I'm even like now, like I'm editing more content and stuff like that, and I'm learning how to use CapCut. CapCut's like amazing.
CapCut's
like
great. CapCut's so powerful.
It's so powerful. I'm learning how to use that. I'm learning how to use like all these other editing apps. I love all like the face retouching apps. I'm running my face through all of those apps before I post anything on Instagram, you know, but like it's good. It's good. Like it's definitely like a bit of like a learning curve, you know, at first. But I'm getting used to.
That's with everything.
And that's with everything. That's with everything. I know. I'm hoping by like, if hypothetically I do like more seasons and stuff like that, like I would ideally like to not be doing bottle service and then just like be doing this and like have the time to edit. Because right now I'm like, oh, I just don't have time, you know? And then it's nice. And you hire someone, like you have the producer that you hired.
Yeah.
You know, I basically hired the studio to do everything for me, and then it just feels nice, right? You can spend that time doing other things and like actually like building your brand even more.
Yeah.
Because now it's like I can spend more time like making my own content or building up my therapy practice, you know, or getting people to come to AM PM, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because time's valuable.
I don't know if you've ever read a book. It's called The E-Myth Revisited. What's the E-Myth? So it's basically like the whole premise is, what's the difference between like an entrepreneur and like how do you get to the next level and all that.
Right.
But it's essentially the biggest like problem that entrepreneurs have is they keep working in the business and not on the business.
In the business.
Meaning exactly what you're talking about right now, right? All the setup and all these things, and you have to do it it takes time for you to actually grow the business. So until now suddenly you got Nathan, you got this studio, now you have more time for you to do other things, and that builds onto the business. So that's like that's the E-Myth. Yeah. So
that's a great that's a good book. I'm gonna have to read it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more into self-help books, and then I sometimes like it's really hard. I've really hard taking I don't know, like not other people's advice, but I don't know. I just have a hard time getting through a self-help book sometimes. You know, I think sometimes I get frustrated because it kind of makes you face the truth about certain things, because it makes you be really honest with yourself, right? When you're like reading these kind of books, you're like, oh, I don't do that. And like, oh yeah, I am bad with these habits and XYZ, you know? So then it's just kind of, sometimes I get like frustrated and I get kind of stuck when I read them.
I love
read like
hearing
one chapter
this
and I'm like,
from you because you're a therapist.
Right.
So it's, that's why I think I've always actually been very, very intrigued when I hear you talk about like these kind of human connection stuff, or like self-help worth income. Like I think society thinks therapists have everything solved and figured out.
And you know what's funny? All the therapists I know are like, they're just like me. I think I'm a bit crazier than most therapists. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I like live this like dual life, and I used to feel really ashamed about it, like doing bottle service and also doing therapy.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a lot of people, even like people have that, I think, expectations with people who are like in certain like fields, right? Like doctors or like lawyers or therapist, or, you know, a lot of people who work, I think, in mental health, they're like, oh, you have to have it together in order to like support other people.
Yeah. And
I used to think that too, right? Like, I think if I was 15 and I was seeing a therapist and I like happened to see her out drunk one night, I'd be like, oh, that's not a good therapist. I'd be like, no. You know what? I don't know about this therapist. And now I see that everyone's like so multifaceted. Like even my dad's a doctor. I don't know if he's gonna. No, it's fine. He's cool. He's a doctor. He's a psychiatrist. He helps like veterans with, you know, their
like
mental
PTSD
health
and stuff like that.
PTSD, exactly. And like he's a psychiatrist basically, and he struggles with so many things. You know, I think like mental health wise, I won't name all of them, but he definitely struggles. You know, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I think that's something that kind of reminded me like, okay, like, you know, over the years, like it kind of really reinforced that idea though. Like, okay, you can do one thing and still be human, you know? Yeah.
100%. Ironically, you made me think about it because after I do my sessions with my therapist, every now and then I'll be like, how are you?
And you ask the therapist.
I ask them.
Oh, you know, therapists love when you do that.
Because for me, I'm like, do you understand how strong you have to be to like just take on all this emotion, pressure, concerns, thoughts, and feelings, and be okay with it, and then suddenly be able to like, all right, our session's done, turn it off, and then just go on with the world.
And
it doesn't work that way.
Go to like the next session.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't work that way. And I remember like one of the second, or one of the earlier stages with my current and therapist, I was like, you know, you good? You okay? Like, you know.
Aww.
You're like,
so
what do you
nice.
do? Like, I'm sure you have your own therapist after this or whatever it is, but like, whatever it is, like, thank you for today and hope like you take care of yourself as well. It's
That's
like,
so
you know,
nice.
but it's like, you think about it because you're human at the same time.
I think I really like that you do that, because I think it makes it seem like it's more of like it's like you guys are equals, right? When it's like more of a conversation versus just like, I think people sometimes feel weird going to therapy and they're just like unloading their whole life story to like this person that they know nothing about. And I feel like when you ask questions like that, it kind of makes you feel like more equal, and like, yeah, I think like humanizes the therapist a little bit too.
Exactly.
I love that.
I agree.
So why are we at Cabana right now?
Why?
I'm curious about that. Why are we? So you're doing all this, but you're back at Cabana.
I love having this conversation.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Because it's like, ironically, my boys and the whole team there now, when I first got back in, they don't know me. They don't know me. They don't know I've worked there before, and I'm in there.
Really?
And then more and more they learn about me. It's been very cool to watch this progression of them being like, who the hell is this freaking Asian kid that could just come back in out of nowhere? Because I didn't come in the beginning of Cabana. I came in like maybe like a couple weeks after. And they're like, who's he here? But long story short, I think Toronto summers are like elite. They're S tier. Some of the best. I never try to leave the city in summer.
Dare I say, better than a Euro summer. Dare I say.
I've never had a Euro summer.
Okay, you know what? You're not missing out. No, like Euro summer is great, but Toronto summers I feel like are elite because we have like really fun festivals.
Bingo.
You know,
It's
I feel like everyone's outside constantly. Yeah. Lots of day stuff.
It's because Toronto, we are in 9 months of pure cold. Yeah. Pure cold, wet, not the best weather. No. So we get ready for this crazy 3-month like escapade of just enjoying it. Like every day we don't try not to not do anything. So it doesn't matter if it's a big festival, it's a street festival, restaurants, patios, we go all out. So Toronto summers, I love that. And one of my favorite places in Toronto is Cabana. Aww. And because for me, it's daytime. it's a daytime thing.
Right.
So it's a daytime thing. It's very, very cool. You get to see people, the best view. Generally,
Gorgeous.
in
You
my
get the
opinion,
whole-
the best view of Toronto.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I tell my guys or even just like guests, the people or my managers or anyone, I'm like, sometimes you'll catch me and just stand there because I'll catch the most perfect moment where it's like, DJ's playing. Everyone's having the best
sun
time.
setting.
The sun is setting.
Over the Toronto-
Freaking Billy Bishop Airport. Freaking
The planes are taking
coming.
off.
A couple of skidoos, a couple of boats and yachts, and then
Right.
the CN Towers right there.
and you have like an insane DJ. Like have like a big DJ that's playing, and you're just
and
like, wow, life's
wow,
awesome.
this is Toronto. This is life. So like that. Secondly, it's like, I love live music. I love live music, and because I cooked for majority of my life, I never actually got to go out. I never got to see concerts. I
you're
never
in the
got to do
kitchen.
anything. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, or I never could afford it either.
That too.
Now I'm here and I'm like, I get to listen to DJs. I get to listen to artists and like musicians and all these people. Next thing is I get to meet a lot of people. I get to meet a lot of people and like from a, I guess you can say like a business hat or just in
Kind
general
of
as a
like
person.
networking, right?
You get to
Yeah.
network because you never know who you are going to be seeing or meeting or whoever it would be.
So true.
I've like met some incredible CEOs. I've like, I've taken care of like someone like Usain Bolt, for instance.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And like moments like that are like very cool that you will never be able, like last week I got to,
So true.
take care of and like meet Tyla and like do that. So
So
that
she's
was
just stunning in real life. She's just gorgeous.
100%.
Oh, she's just gorgeous. Every time I see a picture of her, I'm like, wow.
And then one thing I loved, actually a big one is, the first time I ever went to Cabana or like worked at Cabana, the whole reason was I wanted to be here. And then I remember I was like asking all my friends to come out, right? And they're like, no, I'm retired. I'm retired is one of them, where being like, if I don't have a booth, I don't want to come out. All that
I'm
stuff.
kind of like that.
And then in my head, I'm like, but I know you guys are going to come out regardless, right? At like some point. So I'm like, I'm just going to be in the spot and I'll see you throughout the year. So one thing is, I think as our lives get busier, as people get busier with their like, whether they're like dating, jobs, traveling, whatever it might be, it's harder to meet your friends, even if you live in like your neighbor, right? But I'm like, if I'm even in a vicinity where sometimes someone might come in, I'll be able to see these guys again.
And you can see a bunch of people in one big place.
Bingo. So it's like, even like right now, this season at Cabana, I've been able to like meet friends or people that I haven't seen in years. But like that 15, 10-minute interaction is better than never seeing them ever.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes it's nice to have those casual interactions, because I feel like it can feel like a lot, especially when you are so busy, to like to take time to like sit down and like have a coffee with all these like people like from your past that you might want to see, but you might just not have the time to. So if you do something like that,
exactly,
that's kind of how I feel about AMPM a little bit. Like I prefer working and having my friends come in than go in with my friends.
Yes.
I went in with my friends on Friday, and I just like it's always fun. I love AMPM and I love going out with my friends in general, but I feel like if I'm there, I'm like, I'd rather be like working and like kind of like busy and like making money while also like I would rather be doing that. Well, yeah, like be like I feel like I'd rather do that over like just like actually being like a guest,
But then
you also get to see everyone.
Exactly.
You know,
and
it's a
like
social
adding to you, it's
aspect.
like, then I get paid to do it.
It's awesome.
And going back to the whole like, I'm getting paid, that's my job. But like it's a fun job.
Like you're enjoying it.
Exactly.
You're in the sun.
Exactly.
Hanging with people. I'm sure like I don't know what the policy is at Cabana. I'm drinking while I'm working. I don't know if you're drinking. Probably. Probably.
Drinking a lot of liquids.
Lots of liquids.
Hydrating.
Lots of
hydrating.
Yeah. Lots
Very
of liquids.
much hydrating.
Exactly. Yeah.
Question for you, because something else that I was talking to a couple of the guys about, because obviously it's not easy. It's not an easy job. Let's get this straight up, right? People think working at a club or nightlife or bottle service or anything like that is like all fun and games. You don't see the prep work beforehand. No. Like doors open at 1, we're there at 9 a.m. Like our days are like freaking 16, like 12, 13, 14 hour days.
We're there till 3 or 4.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And then like, but the thing I always like to tell them, like, look guys, it's like, we get to be part of people's celebrations.
Yeah.
No one goes out to a club or to Cabana or any kind of like event like that because they're like sad, or like they're going to celebrate something or
People are
someone.
happy.
So you're going there to be part of someone's celebration. So why don't you? So I'm a big fan of being around positivity, and like I'm an energy guy. Like if I'm around negative people, I'm like, damn, I feel it. I'm gonna be negative too. Or like that's like just how I kind of gravitate towards. But that's why I like to be around good energy and good people and like surround myself with all like so like being like in Cabana, being whether it's like going to go see you guys at like 8 p.m. or whatever it is, it's just like seeing good friends. So it's always good times.
That's honestly what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what? I was actually at Cabana the other day, and I'm sad I didn't run into you.
I know.
I didn't know you were still working there. Actually, I should have messaged you.
It's because you're in the VIVP.
No, you know
booths.
what? I was a GA girl that day. I was a GA girl. But you know what's funny? I went to go see Pauly D, and I went with my sister who lives
I was off that day.
Okay. I was looking around. I was like, who am I going to see? But that's the thing. I went with my sister, and she was like, do we have to pre this? Do we like, is there a booth there? And I'm like, you know what, Amanda? That's my middle sister's name. And she was visiting. She's never been to Cabana before. I was like, you just have to like trust that. I'm like, it's such a big place. I'm like, I just know without a doubt, I will see someone that I know there.
Yeah.
Maybe multiple people, and we will be in a section. I was like, I have faith, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, the vibes are good. There's so many people. What's the capacity at Cabana? It's huge, right?
It is
like
huge.
1,000 people or something?
Yeah, more than that. I think
more than that.
It's quite more than
that. It's
that.
ginormous. I was like, I know without a doubt I will see someone I know, and we will be in a booth. And we walk in, we're in GA. We're with like 3 other friends of ours. And they're also like pretty, like they go out a lot. And so they also know a lot of people. And then we end up, of course, in the section. We're in like the above. Is that what's
Sky
technically? Bar? Yeah, the Sky Bar. What's technically the VIP section? Is that the one behind? That's the pool,
yeah,
right?
The pool
behind.
is pool is where you get the big. It's like the biggest booths. It's where people can go to the pool. Back in the day, they would close it off. So it's like if you only had like a VIP bracelet, you can go through. But now it's open now, so like everybody can walk in and out of it. Sky Bar opens when we're very busy. When we're very, very busy.
Oh, it was busy boots that day.
Yeah,
it was busy. Everyone loves Pauly D.
Yeah.
May I say, he was a fantastic DJ. He's
good.
He was good. He was good. He was playing the most random like he's playing like Hannah Montana, like best of both. And I was just like, no one does this anymore.
It's very him.
Very him. You've seen him before then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've seen him once.
Yeah, he was good. But I was at Cabana, and I was having a great time. I've only been to Cabana twice, actually. That was my third time. I've been to Rebel a few times. That's my third time at Cabana. I really loved it. I wanted to take the Tiki taxi back with like people, but we couldn't call it. Like we're having an issue with it. So we ended up driving back. Traffic getting out of Cabana is kind of
it's rough. It's rough.
It's kind of crazy.
It is
like
rough.
even just getting out of that like little section, I was just dying. Yeah. I was dying. We're stuck there for like maybe like 45 minutes. Mind you, we're in a car with no AC. Mind you, I'm wasted. Mind you, I was dehydrated as hell. Like I was like, this is challenging.
Sounds like the typical experience. It's just part of the experience.
And that's why I love Toronto summer, right? Right there in a nutshell. And we were on our way to Due West Fest, of course. Were you at Due West? No, not Due West. Ozfest. Were you at Ozfest?
I was.
Did I see you?
After I finished I finished my shift, and then I went to Ozfest.
Oh, gorgeous.
That was good.
I was there. I went to Bowie. I popped by Lunch Lady.
Yeah.
Went to IDK. I really love Ozfest. I don't know what it was for me. I had so much more fun last year at Ozfest. I think the highlight for me that day was actually Cabana and seeing Pauly D. And we were in like this, the most random booth ever. It was like these Quebecois guys that were just definitely all drug dealers, definitely all like they were sketchy. They were sketchy.
You get to see so many very, very interesting people.
Lots of interesting characters on a night out.
On a day out. I call it the Cabana ecosystem, or like it's the safari. There's like certain people, and like it's just a fun. If you like to people watch, it's fun to just people watch.
It's great. You know what's so fun? People watching when you're kind of sober-ish. You know what I mean? You're just like watching everyone. Because I feel like it's kind of hard to do it when you're drunk, right? But like when you're sober-ish and you're just like, you're watching everyone, you're like, everyone is so, whoa, like, you see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
At AMPM, sometimes when I'm really watching every single individual person, I'm like, wow,
it's crazy, right?
I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
so
you see crazy
interesting
stuff though at AMPM. Like really crazy. To be honest, our lives are shaped by relationships. Our relationships with our partners, children, parents, friends, coworkers, managers, and even ourselves. A large part of stress and important life decisions are connected to these relationships. But whenever we need support with one of these areas, we usually have to turn to different people. One person for relationship problems, another for parenting, someone else for work stress, another for self-confidence, and someone different for anxiety. Beyond the time and cost involved, this kind of support is not always easy to access and can be really expensive. That may be why so many people are now turning to AI for guidance. AI is always available, but general AI tools have their limitations. They don't usually follow one clear and consistent framework. Sometimes they simply give us the answer that we want to hear, and the quality of their guidance is not always consistent. But whenever we need support with one of these areas, we usually have to turn to different people. Like many others, I was looking for a better solution. What felt different to me was that Parley is an AI built on scientific frameworks from psychology, relationship science, and established communication methods. It supports not only individual concerns, but also challenges between couples. Imagine no longer having to search for a different person or app for every challenge. You always have a knowledgeable guide by your side, one that understands both your individual needs and the important relationships in your life. You can try Parley for free in the link in my caption.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you see crazy stuff at Cabana too. I can't even imagine what happens in that pool.
The pool's not that bad.
Really? I thought the pool would be bad.
We clean the pool every day. Like people always ask me, like, I'm never going. Like we actually do so much work.
Take off your shirt, you dive in. You're like, yeah, no, the pool's clean.
Like we clean it up every day, and like but it's a good vibe.
I feel like people always think that when they see a pool, because there are other places, not Cabana, but there's other places that have pools that they don't clean well. So I feel like pools get a bad rap for some reason. Everyone's like, oh, the pool's dirty, the pool's gross, No,
it's fun.
It's fine. Do you guys hear that? PSA. You can swim in the Cabana pool. I don't think people knew that.
Come see me.
Exactly. And go see Wallace. So Wallace, you're at Cabana right now. I was actually going to ask you a little bit about more of like the service industry side. Because obviously like right now you are so multifaceted right now. You're doing so much more than just you're like doing so much more than that. But when you're working in kitchens and stuff like that, like do you feel like that was, I'm assuming that probably felt like such a different chapter of your life, right? And would you say that was hard on like your mental health, like just being in that environment? Because I've talked to a few people who work back of house, like in the kitchen and stuff before, and Ben from Lunch Lady being one of them. Love Ben. But
shout out Ben.
Shout out Chef Ben from Lunch Lady.
Yep.
We love him. But he was saying, of course, that's really challenging. And I was just kind of curious about your experience, like being in the back of house, being in the kitchen, especially in like these like really, well-known and established restaurants that you've worked at before, right? Like Michelin recommended or starred restaurants. Like you've been in some pretty intense environments. Yeah.
I mean, like I look at it this way, whether it's working at, the Michelin star restaurants, whether it's at an omakase, my pop-ups at Cabana, it's all about taking care of people.
Yes.
Like that's what ultimately we're doing. And the whole thing about service and how I look at it and how I feel for it is it's one of the most humanistic connections we can have, especially with cooking. For me as a chef, I always say it's like, when you cook for someone, it's showing how much you love or care for somebody, because it takes so much time, right?
And love.
And love, like that. Genuinely, if you don't like that person, why would you cook for them? Like you wouldn't. So when you put in the time, the effort, and like you're taking care of somebody, and it's this part where you're like, this person has entrusted you to nourish them. Right. To care for them and give them food, or to just like, whether it's a drink or anything like that. So I take it where, because it's so humanistic, it's easy, and it's also very, very like it's an honor to do it, but at the same time, that's a great perspective, because it's so basic. Everybody gets this, as in like everybody eats somehow. Everybody can get food.
Everyone needs to eat, yeah.
So there's levels to it, and if you go to a restaurant, like any restaurant that's packed, right? That's busy, that's packed, that's high energy, that's fast paced, you end up getting to a point where you have to balance pushing out quantity with quality. How do you make every customer feel like they're the only customer in the whole restaurant when they're not?
No, but that's how you feel when you're in a restaurant like that. Exactly. Like it feels like such a special, like personalized experience, right? Like I know when I've been to like really nice restaurants,
Yeah.
the service is
So-
immaculate, the food is just like
Exactly.
so detailed
And I
oriented.
think that's what you get the difference between a good restaurant and a bad restaurant.
Yeah.
Not just purely talk about food. We'll just talk about just hospitality.
Hospitality.
It's just knowing, like, for instance, why I love, let's say when you go to like an omakase restaurant, like a good sushi place, a good sushi chef restaurant, they'll look at you and they'll be like, oh, you're left-handed. So then they'll put your chopsticks to your left side because it's easier for you. Or they'll be like, hey, I realize that you're not eating as much of the rice. I'll make it a little bit smaller, and like
Right.
kind of like it's all these small little details.
They notice and they
yeah,
like,
and
they
I think
adjust.
in hospitality is just caring.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
And just caring.
It's just caring.
So I feel like that's like your perspective, right? Like when you have that perspective,
Yeah.
would you say that being in this, that's kind of protected you from maybe some of the dark sides of the service industry, right? That I think you've gone to a
Yeah.
lot of people because you're like, I need to start going into AMPM and thinking, this is an honor to work here. And honestly, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for it, but I need to start thinking of it like that because it just, to like, honestly, yeah, like it kind of is like, it is an honor to like, you know, be there for people and help people and like give people a good experience, you know, and provide for people, right? And I think people forget that about the service industry, but I definitely need to have the perspective when I'm going into
Yeah,
AMPM.
and
It's an
also-
honor to be here.
It is,
know?
and it's like
Yeah.
at the same time, like you said, it goes into the dark side.
Yeah.
The dark side of the service industry is it's very taxing. It's
Yeah.
very taxing, but also, unfortunately, because everybody has different, I don't want to say it, standards or levels of hospitality or service or how something might be treated, that there's expectations. There's expectations. And then when you add on financial obligations where someone's like, I'm paying $20 for this bottle of water. I better be getting the best service, XYZ. And like,
Right. That's
we
so
end
true.
up, sometimes you do get like the brunt work of things. And we'll talk about front of the house. Let's use front of the house, right? Good
Yeah.
example is like some person might have a really bad dish or they didn't like it or something like that. And they might start going at it at the server.
And the server's like, I didn't cook it.
Server's like, I didn't cook this.
Server's like, I just served it.
But like, you know, and then it's like, then the server comes back to the kitchen and then be like, table XYZ does horrible and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
and,
cold, this is
and then
fishy.
everyone's fighting and like figuring it out. And those are like the tough times, right? Because also I worked in places where really, really high end restaurant, really, really high end clients, where no is not an answer. So servers would always say things or like promise things or do things and be like, yeah, we got it, no problem. And then we'll come back to the kitchen and be like, we need this, like, and I'm like, wait. You didn't
How?
talk to us about this. Like, we don't have this or whatever, but we have to make it happen, or we try to make it happen, but then now it took too long, and now the person's yelling at everybody, and then we're all getting in trouble, and like,
It's just stressful sometimes.
it is stressful.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
it can be stressful for
it's
sure.
so stressful because it's ironic because food, as much as it is put in it can be on a high pedestal. If you really, really look at it, it's still very, very cheap.
Right.
Like the price of what, like the amount of effort and things you have to do to make a dish be XYZ. I like this conversation. We can talk about bottle service and we can talk about like nightlife and stuff.
Absolutely.
Nobody bats an eye about a $300 bottle of vodka or whatever.
You know what's funny? I bat an eye because when I go out and someone's like, "Let's put on a bottle," I'm like, "Are you crazy? Are you high?" I've never paid for a bottle in my life.
Yeah.
And no, that's not true. I split on one or two once.
Okay. Yeah.
With like 4 people.
Okay.
But it's so insane to me that people come in on their birthdays and they spend just like, yeah, they're like, okay, $2K, whatever. I'm like, what?
But that's what I mean. Like, it's a
insane.
very like,
you don't bat an eye.
the friction point is way less there.
Right, with alcohol. But when
With
it comes
alcohol.
to food,
When it comes to food,
people are very
$200 tasting menu, that is insane. That's so expensive.
Yeah.
Or like this pasta's $50. What the hell?
Exactly.
Right?
They're like, it's just pasta.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's different
It's very
expectations.
different expectations. It's because also it's the environment. That's what you're paying for. When you go to a nightlife club, or whether it's AMPM, Cabana, Vegas, anywhere you want to go, that $300 is not the bottle that you're buying. You're buying the whole package of it.
Yeah.
Right? So when you go into a restaurant and you're getting the $250 tasting menu, what are you buying? It's not just the food. It's the special plate for each dish, the person giving you a new glassware for every course,
explaining each course to you.
You have a little bit of a crumb. Let me clean that off the table. You know, when you go up to the washroom and you come back, your towel, your napkin is folded already.
You know what?
All these things.
Those things are so important. I did my anniversary dinner at Liliana.
Yeah. Oh, shout out Marv.
Shout out Marvin. We love Marvin. He got us in to Liliana like with 2 days notice, and I was like, I owe that man that my first baby's gonna come out Marvin if it's a boy, Marvina if it's a girl, because that's a tough reservation to get. And Cam and I, we were kind of like last minute with her anniversary, and we went, and that was honestly such an amazing experience. Her server was amazing too. We knew her. Her name's Ellie. She used to work at BB's and Sorry Not Sorry. So she's kind of in the AM PM Parkdale world. So we recognized her, and there was so many little touches like that she did. That, honestly, is Liliana the most fancy restaurant in Toronto? No, but one of the best experiences I've had dining out in a very long time. And it was like all those little attentions to detail, Yes, was it expensive? Of course, but not even compared to some of the most expensive restaurants. It's very reasonable for what you're paying for. That's the best word.
It's reasonable.
But even if they charge me an extra $300, I'd be like, it's so worth it. I'd be like, guys, take my money, because it was like that attention to detail is so important. But I think I see what you're saying though. It's like these expectations are so high, and I think especially in restaurants, the expectations are almost higher, right? Because the experience is so much. Like, I think people just have higher expectations in those settings. It's funny because at a club, people expect the bottle service girl to be kind of a bitch, because you go to most clubs and the bottle service girl's kind of a bitch, or like, and even sometimes I'm not gonna lie, there's days where, oh God, I was hungover this Saturday, and I was just like, I was still, I think, providing great service. However, I wasn't touching the tables as often as I should have been, and like, I wasn't like drinking with them. I was so hungover, and normally, like, I feel like I'm pretty and I feel like that's something the AM PM girls do well, is we're really personable with our tables. Like, we hang out with the tables a lot, and I think that's something that people mention a lot to us. They're like, oh my God, like, you guys are so personable. But I've been to other places, and the bottle service girl, they come in, they drop off the bottle, they give you a $3,000 bill, and then they don't peace, and they're not even 100%. Cracking, and they won't even crack a smile. And people just take that. They're like, yeah, awesome. They're like, perfect.
That's always been like what I tell Ben and Benny, and I tell Cam. I was like, AM PM is not a club. I mean, sure, that's what it is overall, but it's purely community. You go in there, and it's basically hanging out with friends.
Get drunk with friends.
Yeah, that's how it feels like when you're there. That
is, honestly, I agree with that. But I feel like AM PM is definitely special. Like, I feel like there's a lot of clubs, and there's still, don't get me wrong, a lot of amazing clubs in Toronto 100%. And in the world, and there's great bottle servers, and I know a lot of them personally too. But there's a lot of places I've been to. And they more places actually in like Vancouver and like the States, but there's been places that I've been to before for sure, and like the people are just so willing to spend that amount of money, and they don't think twice about bad service, or because they're just paying to be in that environment, and they know that environment's expensive. Whereas like a restaurant, the expectations are so high. So I can imagine the stress in a lot of ways is like higher, right? It's like when you're working at these like Michelin recommended or starred places,
and like when you're, and I think the thing is, once you get to a point of like stars and like accolades, and like we're talking about like best restaurants in the world. What?
What's an accolade?
An accolade is like your accomplishments. Like, for instance, restaurants get the title of like best restaurant in the world, best burger, best, like those kind of titles, right? So exactly, best Viet, best place, whatever it is, and it's expectations that are put on you. And out of all things in the world, I've always said that food is one of the easiest things to get into because everybody eats.
Right.
But it's one of the hardest things to be really successful at it because everybody eats.
Right, and there's so many restaurants.
Yes, but what I'm about to say is that food is the only thing that is subjective.
Oh.
Meaning, let's say Marvin, let's Marvin or Ben at Lunch Lady or any other place. Let's just do something. Let's choose pizza, right? Let's just oh no one makes pizza. Let's use pasta. Go back to pasta. Let's go pasta.
Yeah.
Ask an Italian. They'd be like, you can have the best Don Alfonso, Danico, or Giulietta, these places, Marvin's, Liliana's, they're all great Italian spots.
Right.
They can have the best pasta there, right? It could be the best pasta in Toronto, best pasta in Italy or whatever. But somebody can be like, my mom's is still better.
I see
and
what
you'll
you're saying.
never beat it, no matter what. Because that is what makes food so special. It's that food can connect people to memories, emotions, experiences, people. Bingo,
Jinx.
right? Yes, we got that.
Yeah.
We're on that same wave, and it's like a superpower I love to say that chefs have, but because of that, it's also that thing that we fight. And our goal is, but it's special, is like when you are able to kind of tap into someone's emotions like that and be like, wow, like I love my mom's, let's say someone's like, oh, my mom makes the best pho, but damn, when I went to LL and I had their oxtail pho or their thing, and I was like, that was actually pretty damn good, or like better. You're like, ooh, cool. But on vice versa, someone else will be like, my mom makes it better, and you're like, you can't help it,
and you can't argue that too, right? Because it's like someone, and truly, like, you're right, it's subjective, because it's like someone truly does feel like that, and that's their truth, because they're like, yeah, like for like these reasons, you know, like she, you know, goes to the market and handpicks the cilantro, and she gets like meat from this special butcher, and you know, or she just spends like 48 hours creating the broth, right? Like it's just like there's gonna be something there that's gonna make it extra special, like to that person.
It's like, I think,
ooh, I like that.
Like a personal example is like, I've been really grateful to have like many different cakes and like things around the world, like different cakes, birthday cakes, chiffon cakes, all these kind of stuff. But it's still like one of my favorite cakes in my life that I love to eat is my aunt's angel food cake. It's a very basic cake, but like it's still for me like one of my favorite things to eat. And yeah, it's like no matter what, I'll always, someone be like, would you rather have Louis 13 layer chocolate cake, which is divine? Those guys kill it. Or would I have my aunt's angel cake that she makes at home and is like not the most perfect thing, whatever. I'd be like, I'll eat the angel cake.
Right, because then you get to sit with your aunt, you get to be at home, you get to be spending like time with her. You know how much effort and time she put into making this for you specifically. Whereas like these restaurants are making it for like everyone, right?
Yeah. So it's just, that's what I mean. It's an upward battle sometimes, but like when you nail it and you can get it and you're like, damn, I did that. You're like, ooh, I'm pretty good.
Yeah. No, it does feel really good. Honestly, it feels, there's like been a lot of moments recently, I feel like, when I've been working, where I feel like people have been making me feel like really appreciated. You know, they're like, thank you, you made my night. Like even something like so small like this. I don't know, I wonder if regulars or customers hear this podcast, probably not, but either way, like it was like this past Saturday, I had a table that I booked in at VIP at AM PM, and it was his birthday and he wanted to kind of keep it low key, and he's been booking through me for a while. He's a really, really, really nice guy. He has like a really lovely girlfriend that I know, and like it was something so small. Like I think I gave him like a free pizza. We ordered like way too many pizzas that night because people can pay for them and buy them and stuff. I gave him a free pizza and he was like almost in tears, and he was like, that actually made my night. Yeah. You know, and
small thing.
It's just so small, you know. And then even that, I was hungover as just to remind you, but so hungover, and like honestly that made my night though, like seeing how happy he was, and I was like, oh, like I made this guy's night, you know, like that. And you know, like it was his birthday that night. I was like, that I'm really happy I could be like a part of that. I have a question for you, one last question actually before we finish off today. I'm so sad, our time's almost it's coming to an end already.
I feel like we didn't even get into anything.
We didn't even get into the tip of that.
We didn't get into anything.
So actually, I had a ton of questions for you because I feel like you're such a multifaceted person and someone I find so interesting. I had some questions about your relationship with food and like your physique. I actually had a lot about like mental health, like as a content creator as well. But I think my biggest one for you, you know, after hearing, you know, kind of a bit more about you and who you are and your restaurant experience, I want to ask you, what is one thing about restaurant culture that you wish you could change? What do you think?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. I was thinking about this last night actually, because I was like, how the hell would I answer this? And I don't know, it's a tough one to answer, and you can think about it for a second, you know, definitely take your time with that, because I know that's like a big question.
It is.
When I think about this question, I think one thing I would change is the fact that a lot of a lot of people are hired based on looks instead of personality. And also sometimes, you know, that is something I would probably change. And you know what? If you want to do the same answer, you can do the same answer.
No, I love this because
judgment.
it's like you're looking at you took it from a very different perspective
Then probably what you were thinking.
Yeah, because you're going front of the house and I'm going
thinking
back of the house.
Okay, so I want to hear your back
right?
of the house
Right?
perspective.
You're going front of the house and back of the house.
Because for
like,
me, like I feel like there's so many wonderful people who don't get even an opportunity in the service industry because they don't have the look. Even right now, we're hiring at AM/PM for sparklers and servers, and like we're trying to find someone who has like the bottle service look, right? Like fake boobs,
Sure.
you know, face kind of done up, like a certain kind of look and vibe. And there's so many people that we're saying no to who I think would hypothetically be amazing servers who I really like, but they just don't have that specific look that we're looking for specifically at AM/PM.
Of course.
And so I think that's something I understand, and I understand it just like the way the industry is, but that is something that I would personally want to change. I wish it wasn't so look-based and more people had opportunities in that space. For you, what's your back of house answer? I'm curious.
I mean, back of house answer, but also like in general in the restaurants, I think the looks thing isn't that big of a deal because
In back of house?
in front or back,
Oh, really?
necessarily, because it's like dependent, like especially kind of the restaurants that I work at.
Restaurants,
at
yeah.
the,
I feel like
at the
maybe
level of
clubs is a
restaurants
bit-
I work, clubs is a little different. Clubs
Yeah.
I can understand because you do end up going there for certain different things. It's like, I mean, I think Hooters is a good middle ground of what we're both talking about here, right?
Absolutely.
It's like a different,
or like a bar.
yeah,
you know?
right, or
Yeah.
a bar. It's like in the middle. But I think for me, the whole what I would love to change about about the restaurant industry is the health side of the whole thing.
Right.
Meaning, at the end of the day, it's still a lot of hard labor and work for not that much pay.
Right. I
And-
feel like back
yeah.
of house doesn't tend to be compensated as well as
Exactly.
front of house, right?
Well, in general, back of the front house, but let's talk about back of the house, where it's also, unfortunately, it's because I think with food, there's only a certain threshold that we can charge, no matter what. So, and to be able to give somebody maybe a better wage or even more work, right, or more a better income, we have to charge more. But society isn't willing or wanting to pay for something that's more because food is food, right?
Because we're just like kind of what you're saying earlier.
And the only
yeah.
way that like that happens, and if it's not quality, you have to do quantity, which means just basically more work, though.
Right. So you're kind
Right.
of just killing yourself.
It's a little bit of this like kind of hard hamster wheel effect that goes on, and I think it's also hard because I think I always said this going into the industry with people was food is the only industry where you go and you go to school, go to culinary school, whatever the amount is, like 40K, 50K, 60K for culinary school, whatever it is, and you come out and you're making minimum wage.
Yes, 1,000%.
Like you can go to any other school, university, maybe get an arts degree or any other degree.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be making like at least $25 an hour.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Whereas I feel
exactly.
like that's a really good point. I feel like entry level positions as like a chef
Yeah.
or in like the back of house.
And even in general
start
of
minimum
like
wage.
chefs that do end up getting, maybe a better wage. Like let's say we're talking about like maybe 70, 80, maybe even breaking 100, right? You got a lot of responsibilities.
Oh God, yeah.
You got a lot of
You're like
responsibilities.
fully managing the kitchen at like a
Bingo.
Michelin starred restaurant that's
Yeah,
like
or a
world
hotel,
renowned, or
like-
a hotel,
or like
yeah.
you've got like 100 people underneath you that you got to deal with and all that kind of stuff. So it is that industry where like it is very true. Like if you have to do it because you love it, or else you wouldn't be able to go through all the stuff.
Yeah, because it does definitely take a toll on like your
Exactly.
physical and mental health
Yeah.
sometimes too. And like
Exactly.
even if I feel like that you have such a wonderful attitude towards working in like the back of house. I really like that. That's so positive. And I think that's probably something that's probably protected maybe your mental health over the years as well, like working in kitchens.
Of course.
You know? And I'm sure I've definitely talked to some people who don't have that mentality, and that's okay, but I think that I think that that's like a really unique struggle that's definitely something that I wish would change for back of house too,
Yeah, I think that would be, it's just like, let people, like, I'll use an example where now there's like some restaurants around the world that they've switched they might not be open for 4 days, but they've switched their work days to be for their chefs to work 4 days a week.
I like that.
So instead of going 5 days at 16 hours a day, they're going like 4 days at like, you know, whatever, a little more compressed.
Like
but
maybe 10 hours.
Exactly. But like they've got enough time to push hard and still love it and feel it. But then they leave and have enough time to have a life.
Yeah, because
That's
I feel
the biggest
like
part.
you need to feel like you're having a life, especially like when you're in the industry. Like if your whole life just revolves around, and I guess that's in any field, right?
Any field, exactly.
Yeah, like I'm a big advocate for I work only 4 days a week.
Yeah, 4 days a week I think is great. I think 3 days is a little too little.
3 days you're bored.
5 is too much because like your second day is a write off. You're gonna go party.
It's like an errand day, a hungover day.
Exactly. And one day, and then the next day is like you can't actually go so deep into enjoying it because you're like, I gotta get ready for the next week.
Absolutely.
But 4 days on, 3 days off, I think is a great balance of you still have enough time to like have a day for yourself, have a day for friends, have a day to recoup or like learn something or whatever, and then go hard for 4 days and like going back. So it's like, if you ask me, that's a good one I would love to change. I would love that restaurants move to a 4-day work week.
That's
I
what
think
it would be.
you get so much more out of your guys or girls. They would come in fresher, more thing.
Just like better attitudes.
Exactly.
I think like more engaged, more motivated. Yeah.
Oh, one more that it's like a really stupid small one that I talk about all the time that I would love to change. And if I ever had my own restaurant or like down the road or something like that, even like a company is something I would love to have is I think it's mandatory and I would love if everybody had a shower in their workplace.
Oh my God.
To be able to shower is better than a 15-minute break, a 30-minute break.
Tell me why I'm sweating more at AM PM than I am after a Pilates class. Tell me why.
Like nothing is like, ironically, when you go traveling, and I've been very grateful that I get to go travel a lot, and like I've been blessed to have opportunities where people have like airlines or places have offered me that you can go to their lounge and stuff, and they're like, one of the things like, you got to shower. I'm like, for me, I was like, why do I want to shower? I did it one time and I was like, oh my God.
Game changer.
I'm like, yo, give me that 8-hour layover. I'm cool. I'm ready for it, right?
Right.
But it's like, imagine if like you needed somebody to like stay an extra 3 hours and they've already worked a 10-hour shift.
They take a shower.
They take a shower and they're like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah, or even just have a place, you know, I wish like this is like in a dream world, like almost like a bit of like a lounge or like that has like a shower and like you can like kind of like lay down for a second, or you could like have a locker to put your stuff. Like even at a lot of places I've worked at, like there's never been a formal place that you kind of just put your stuff, like you find like a cubby, or you shove it under the host desk, or you put it like in the kitchen, like in a corner. Like I feel like there's never like a proper area for staff to like kind of rest and take a second.
Yeah.
But that plus a shower, game changer. I don't think anyone would ever complain ever again.
No, you will get so much out of your people.
Yeah.
But that's what I would change. That's what
you would do in
those are the things.
your restaurant?
I would change to a 4-day work week and throw in a shower. Throw in like a shower place where people can just like completely refresh. As a girl, it's like if you're able to reset your whole face, your foundation, your makeup and everything like that.
Or have like a light.
Yeah.
You know, or like a mirror with a light.
You'd be like, yo, give me another 8 hours. I'm ready for it.
I'd be like, give me 6. I'm not, you know, I'm not the hardest worker. I have a really hard time working 8 hours unless I'm on something, to be honest with you. Even like I work 4 days a week and I probably only work for like max 6 hours a day.
Okay.
Max.
Yeah.
Not God's hardest worker.
But
I wasn't put on this world to work.
Hey, as long as you're working and you put out as much as you can in that 6 hours though.
Exactly. But I feel like in those 6 hours, like those 6 hours though, like I'm doing therapy, you know what I mean? I'm doing therapy and like it's really intense, and like I feel like, I'm not saying it's harder than like anyone else's job, but I feel like it is for me, very emotionally intense. And so
intense.
Even like I'll have like 3 hour days, right? Like even today, I knew we were filming, so I didn't schedule too many people today. Like I have 3 hours of clients like in the evening from like 4 to 7, you know? And that feels like enough for me, because I'm like, those 3 hours are gonna be intense, and then like I'm gonna take the night to kind of just like reset and, you know, have my night. Yeah.
You need to, like I said, therapists, like you guys have put on so much energy, and you need somewhere to release it in a healthy manner.
That's true. Even honestly though, even doing stuff like this, like I feel like this is such a positive release for me, because I feel like it's nice having these kind of conversations, like just in general. Like I feel like I have these kind of conversations all the time with like friends, and you know, I really value having these conversations because it feels almost like cathartic, right? To like kind of like share the stuff and just like get it out there. And like, to me, this feels like a form of kind of like release, which is really nice. You know, I think I've said this in past episodes. I'm like, this is why I love doing this podcast so much, or just like having a space and a platform to like even just record these conversations and save them, you know, because I feel like so much valuable stuff comes up. And even in this hour and a half, like I'm like, wow, like there's so many things I like didn't consider. And like even just hearing your perspective and how positive you are, I'm like, I'm feeling inspired. You know, I'm feeling very inspired.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go into the rest of my day, and I feel prepared for my clients in like the afternoon and evening. But yeah, I feel like it definitely is important to have release. Like I even have a therapist myself. I haven't seen her in a while, and I probably should, but I do have a therapist myself. I talk to my friends constantly, you know. I feel like I have a lot of really good outlets. I like do a lot of like self-work. Like I practice like lots of mindfulness. I try to like take time to like process my emotions as well, even when it's like uncomfortable. Of course, I do all of that stuff. So I feel like that all helps a lot. You know, is there anything you do?
What I do, ironically, that I started doing this year, I'm pretty proud of it. It's been eight months of doing it. Is every night before I go to bed, I take the last 10-15 minutes. It's not long at all. And I used to start writing it, but then I have to bring a book and everything. But now I just do it on my notes app. But I write 3 wins of the day.
Oh, I like that. Just kind of like a bit of a gratitude practice, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily being about gratitude, but because like I think a lot of times people will be like, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. I just write 3 wins. 3 wins. 3 things that I was like, wow, it was great today. So like it could be something as simple as what was it? Oh, like one of the days, like someone was like, someone complimented me about my outfit today. Aww. I was like, oh, that's a great one. Like and it's 3.
And the day just started. It's only 1:20 right now.
But I mean, I was like, like yesterday. Oh, right. Sorry, yeah. So then what I end up doing is that I end up going to bed feeling good, or like being like, wow, like it's just basically a reflection of the day. Because how much like so many interactions happens in 24 hours, and if you can't say 3 things that are good, something's wrong. You got to change your life a little bit. Exactly. So then that's how I think about it. So I'm like, some days I'm like, oh, there's more than 3, but I'll write 3 in general.
I love that.
And then I go up and I start the day. It's like when you message me this morning and you're like, I got a bunch of good sleep. I feel so good. Today's my I was smiling when I read it because I'm like, good on you. Thank you. You know, it's good because it's like every time when I ask someone, you know, someone says, how are you or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm okay or whatever, and then someone else goes, I'm incredible. I'm like, love that for you.
Love that.
I love that for you.
It's really rare that people say that too. And honestly, it's really rare that I like wake up and I'm in a good mood, but I was feeling very positive today. Yeah. But I think that's really important. What you're saying is so true. And I actually say this to my clients a lot because it's something that's so simple, you know, like acknowledging the good in your day, because we so often just focus on the bad, and the bad always seems to override the good, you know? So if you just take the time, even like a couple of conscious moments where you're just really reflecting on like, because they're always, I'm sure like for 95% of people, you know, you can find something, at least one thing, you know, 100%. Likely 3 things that were good about 100%. Your day. And it just reminds you like, okay, like there's actually, today wasn't all bad, or like, you know, it just kind of reminds you about the things that you should like appreciate and stuff like that. It's a great way to go to sleep. Yeah, it's like, you know, this one will be one of them. I'm gonna practice. 100%. I'm gonna practice it. I'm gonna practice that. I always say I'm gonna do stuff like that, and I always encourage people to, and then I kind of forget to do it myself, and it really does make a difference though, to be honest, right? It does. Have you noticed a difference since doing that? It does, because it actually makes me think back about the day. It forces you to reflect. Most people don't reflect. It's because our days are so busy. Yeah. Like there's so many things that could go on and X, Y, Z. But then you suddenly be like, what was 3 things that was good today? Right. Because I mean, I feel like when people are so busy, they come home and they want to decompress and like eat something and watch a show and then go to sleep, and then they don't actually take any time to consciously like reflect on how they're feeling and like how their day was. And it's such a good practice to get into. And it's free and it's quick. And it's free and it's quick, you know? We love quick. Those are 2 buzzwords. I love that. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that. So I want to say thank you so much for your time today, Wallace. And if you guys want to learn more about Wallace, or, you know, get to know him a bit more, you guys can follow him on Instagram at w2 w2sixpackchef. Yeah, on Instagram. And if you guys want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Instagram at Club Therapy Pod. You guys, this is a big up and coming podcast. You guys don't miss out right now. This is gonna blow up in 3 years. No, I'm kidding.
No. It's already
we'll see
there.
though. We'll see.
It's already there.
It's already there. It's already there. We're manifesting. But yeah, if you guys want to learn more from me, at Club Therapy Pod on Instagram. Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for your time today. Bye.
Peace.